Hi everyone, this is just going to be a quick tutorial on the basics of using the Track My Fundraising website. So if you're wanting to sign up for a fundraiser or check your balance, how much money you got in there, the first thing you need to know is the website. So it's www.trackmyfundraising.ca. When you do that, you're going to get to the login page. Now, most students will already have an account set up for them. So the generic way or the most common username is going to be first initial, last name. So for our sample account, I'm going to be using John Smith. So we're going to use J for first initial, Smith being last name. The default password, if you haven't done anything to change, is going to be FNSS Music. Okay, all lowercase, so I'll just show you up here. It'd be FNSS Music, looking like that. This code at the top, generally just leave it as is. I change it once a year once we do rollover, but it'll generally be the year that we're in, sort of in the fall. So if, for example, the trip is in 2017, like it'll be next year, the number will be changed to 2017. You can click to keep me logged in. That just means that you won't have to log in every time you go to the website. Sometimes it'll still make you log back in, but it'll sort of prevent you from seeing the screen again. So we're going to log into John Smith's account if we did everything right. We're not going to save his password. Now it's going to ask you to change the password. You don't need to. You can leave it the same. I suggest sort of making it something else, so I'm just going to change it here. If you get 2 green bars, it means the password's the same, so I can save it. And now we're going to get kind of to the profile of the student. Now this is probably one of the most important things to fill out right away. Otherwise you won't be notified of any upcoming events. So first thing is you're going to see first name, last name, that should already be in there. Entering in a valid email and then also a cell phone number. So when you type in the cell phone number, try not to put any spaces or dashes. So for example, you'd want to enter your phone number like that. For your cell phone carrier, that's who you have your cell phone with. The reason I need this information is because the way it sends out text messages, it needs to know what carrier you're on. So if you have, for example, if you're on Bell, just make sure that you check Bell. If at any point you change either phone number or carrier, you're going to want to come back and update these settings. Otherwise, you won't receive the text messages. Next, you have Notify Me About, and you have 4 different options. New fundraisers, lottery results, 1 day before fundraising event, and changes in account balance. So let's start at the top. For new fundraisers, anytime I post a new fundraiser, if you have this checked, that means you will receive either an email or a text, depending on what you have down here. So this is really good for those. So anytime I post a fundraiser, you're just going to get a message saying, hey, new fundraiser has been posted, you can sign up now. I would suggest that everyone check this box, the lottery results. Anytime there's a fundraiser and it's done by a lottery, if you don't have this checked, you will not get a notification when the draw has happened. It'll sort of be up to you to make sure you check. So to make life easy, I would check that box. 1 day before a fundraising event, if you're confirmed for an event, this will automatically send you a reminder saying, hey, don't forget fundraising event tomorrow. A good one to have checked. This last one, depending on whether you want to know every time your balance changes, you can have this one checked. I know some people don't have this one checked because if I'm doing a lot of playing with numbers, sometimes you do get more text than you might want. So this one's totally up to you. What it'll do is anytime I update your balance in your account, you will receive a text too. So sometimes it's good to know if there's a change, but you don't have to have this. Of all the 4, this is probably the least important one that you need to have checked. Then you have your 2 notification methods, right? You can either be email or cell. So that means if you have email checked, it's going to send you an email notification based on this email up here. If you have cell checked, it's going to send you a text message to your number here. So once you have all this filled out, and I'm just going to go and we'll do that number 1250. Just go 250. You don't need to enter the 1 beforehand. Okay, I'll just go with that, and I'm going to save. So now we've got John Smith's information all updated. This is also the spot if you want to change your password at any time. Okay, you can come in here and do that. Family, we're not going to worry about yet. We're going to do that more actually from the parent side. We'll come back and talk about that. So that is the profile tab, the first thing you want to get set up. Now we can head over to the account. Okay, and this will sort of show you all of the fundraising that you've done to date. It'll give you your statement, so it'll tell you at the top how much money you currently have. Okay, it can be a positive or a negative number. You can see right now it's in the positive, got $100, and that's because on June 5th there was $100 deposited because it was a trip deposit. The nice thing about it is if you need a receipt, for example for taxes or for anything you're doing, you can click on trip deposit on the link there, and it'll actually bring up a receipt that you're able to print off, sort of stating the date, where it was going to, the amount, as well as sort of like a QR code if for whatever reason you need that. So that's something you can print off and use as taxes or any other reason you need a receipt. Let's go back here. You will also notice that Jane Smith, and that's going to be our little Johnny's mother, also has money in her account. And what the student will be able to see is any of the family members linked to that kid. You'll also be able to see the amounts in their account. So you could then say, well, actually, even though they've got 100 in their account, if Johnny is an only child, you can actually consider that he has 250 all towards his family's name. So that's the statement. Now we can click over and sign up for a fundraiser. So what you'll see here is we have past events. That's for things in the past. We're not going to worry about that right now. Then we have a couple different categories. We have confirmed events, unconfirmed, lottery, and other events. So anything that has not been signed up for at all yet will fall under this other events. So anytime there's a new fundraiser, you will see it show up here. So right now you can see we have the Canada Day fundraiser available. When you sign up for a lottery event, it's then going to move up to this one. So that means you're not yet selected, but it's a draw that is coming up. So you've sort of selected what jobs you want, but it hasn't yet happened. Unconfirmed events are events that you've been selected to participate, but you haven't yet confirmed. And confirmed events are ones that you have been selected, and you've also said, yes, I can do this event. So there's sort of the 4 different categories there. We're going to go ahead and look at this Canada Day one. Okay. And you can see right now my status is not signed up. So it has some information about the fundraiser. You can check the date, the location. The credit type shares just means it's sort of shared equally among all the people that help. Sometimes there's one called exact, for example, if you're doing chocolates where you're going to get exactly what you raise. And there's a couple other types, but the most common are going to be either exact or shares. It's going to give you an estimated profit. Keep in mind this is only an estimate. It really does depend on a number of factors, mostly how many people sign up, and then, of course, how much donation we're getting. The sign-up type, so you can see this is a lottery. So what that means is you're going to enter your name into the lottery and hopefully be selected to participate in the fundraiser. The reason we do that is because a lot of fundraisers we do only require a certain number of students. So for example, if we're doing a busing event, we don't need 20 students, we only need 5. You enter into the draw to have your name selected to participate in the event. The lottery is it is random, but it is also slightly weighted towards people who have been selected less. So that means if you've participated in 10 events, you are going to have less chance of winning that lottery or be selected for that event than someone who's only participated in 1. It doesn't mean you won't get selected, but it is weighted towards those who have participated in less events, just to make it a little bit more fair to try and spread out the fundraising. Down below you see the draw date and the draw time. This is when the lottery will happen. So on June 10th at 5 o'clock is when this lottery will be drawn. So if you don't have the automatic email to be sent to you, then this is an example of where you're going to have to remember, okay, on June 10th at 5 o'clock I'm going to have to come and check. Down below you can see all the different jobs and who's already entered. So for example, we have tattoos and face painting. There are 3 spots available, and there's 4 people who have put their name into that draw. Right? We've got carnival games, there's concession, there's greeters, and then you'll also see here there's a couple of adult ones as well. Now when you go to sign up, you will notice that if you're a student, you will not be able to sign up for these adult jobs. So you can see there's an adult leader, barbecue adult, carnival games, and greeters. When we go to sign up, a student will not be able to sign up for these. Vice versa, a parent will not be able to sign up for a student position. So let's sign up for this event or enter into the lottery. So we can click on this My Status. You are not signed up. Click on it. and you can see to select the jobs you are interested in. So let's say I don't want to do tattoos and I don't want to do face painting because I cannot face paint at all. Could do carnival games, I could do concession, and I could do greeters. So by checking these boxes, it doesn't mean you are going to get these positions. It just means you're entering a ticket into the draw. Now, when it does the draw, obviously, if you get, for example, carnival games, what it's going to do then is it's automatically going to remove you from concession and greeters. So it's going to only allow you to participate in one job because you can't be more than one place, or you can't be at more than one place at a time. So we're going to hit save, and now what should happen is we'll go back and we'll be able to look at the job list below. We should be able to see that your name has been added. So let's just check here. We didn't do tattoos, but down here under carnival games, you'll now see there's John Smith, John Smith, John Smith, and then yet again all these adult ones we won't see. If we go now check my status, it says you are in the lottery, meaning we're good to go. If we click this again, it'll show the same ones and we're able to update it. So say all of a sudden we decide, you know what, I really don't want to do concession. I can unclick concession, hit save. It'll bring it back, and now if I look under concession, my name, or John Smith's name, will not be there, even though it's still under carnival games and greeters. When the draw happens, you need to make sure you confirm your position, or you confirm your job. So it'll send you a message, or you'll check, and you'll need to go where it says unconfirmed events. You're going to click on it, okay, and we'll pretend it's here, and your status here will say unconfirmed. And what you're going to need to do is click on this, and it will say, do you want to confirm that you're able to do this job? You need to hit yes if you can, or no if you can't. It's really important if you are unable to do a job that you select no, so that other people who are in the backup list can get moved up, because we don't want to have a situation where a couple hours before someone says, oh, I no longer can do this, and then but they don't cancel their position, and then that means that that job or that volunteer position is going to go unfilled, and it might cause an issue at the event. And we want to make sure that if we say we're going to supply 5 people, that 5 people show up. So that's how fundraisers work with student side. It's pretty straightforward. You can sort of, once you get the hang of a first couple few, it's pretty easy. Now we're going to go and just take a look at the parent account really quick. So I'm just going to log out, and you can see you can create a parent account. So the nice thing about this site is that they're kind of two separate things. Parents are more than welcome, and we encourage parents to sign up to help out with fundraisers. So the first thing is going to be the school code. That's just this code right here, so you can actually just copy paste it. It'll always just be FNSS band and then the year. So let's just go back to here. Okay, and this is going to be Jane Smith's account. Same thing, you can enter in an email and a password. Now, here what it's going to do is you want to link to a student, and it says that I need to confirm it before it's active. Now, because I've already done this ahead of time, if I type in John Smith, he won't actually come up because you're actually already linked to it. But say I was with, let's see if Tyson comes up. Okay, Tyson Scott, say he was related to me or I was his family member, I can click him, and you'll see now that I am going to be linked to that kid. In this case, I'm not going to be, but once you'd have that, you'd hit save, and then it will give you your login username. It may not be first initial last name, because in this case, we already have a John Smith. So if you're Jane Smith, you're going to use the second letter. So it'll be J.A. Smith. And the default password should still be FNSS Music. Okay, and it's going to again ask you to update your password. Now the thing that's different with this view is that as a parent, okay, oh, and then sorry, before you do that, you want to fill in all your information just like you did on the student profile. Same thing. But we're going to go back over to account. And you can see that you can actually choose between two accounts, the student account or your own account. So there's John Smith's account, the one we've already been looking at. Or we can go over to Jane Smith's account, and we can see that she has also done a fundraising event and made $150. So parents are able to see both their own account and a student account. The student is not able to see the parent account. Only the parent has views of both. So what we can do is a couple things. As a parent, you can sign up for fundraisers as well. So let's go back to that Canada Day one over here. And you'll notice now if we want to sign up for events, oh, actually this is a good thing to point out because this can be a little confusing. Notice right now it says fundraising information John, because right now I'm viewing fundraisers as John. So you are able to sign your own kids up for fundraising events. However, what I can do is I can change back on this front page to me. Okay, and you'll notice to Jane Smith. Now you'll notice that it's moved from lottery to other events because Jane is not yet in this fundraiser. So if I go to sign up, you'll notice now that all the adult ones show up. Because she's an adult, a parent, she will not be able to sign up for the student ones, only the adult ones. So you could go ahead, she could do those ones, all four. And if we scroll down, we'll now see that Jane Smith is signed up for those events. If we wanted to go back to John, just use the back arrow, change it back to John. Okay, and now we're looking at John's point of view. So as a parent, you can sign up your children into different fundraisers, and you can also sign up yourself. So that's kind of the nice thing about this view. Final thing I'm going to show you about the site is how to transfer money. Because as you can see, Jane Smith has made some money. She's made $150 at a fundraising event. Now, Jane Smith is not going on this trip. She actually wants to get that money into John's account. So it's kind of like online banking, where you're going to do a family transfer. Now, you can only transfer money from your own account. So for example, if you've got your significant other also has an account, you will not be able to transfer their money. Only they can transfer their money. So you'll need to log into their account. So it'll tell you your balance is $100. Okay, and then you can transfer it to your child's account. If you have, say, for example, 2 children in band, you'd see 2 different accounts or 3. And you're just going to enter in how much you want to transfer. So I've got $150. I'm going to transfer all of that money, because I don't need any of it, over to John Smith's account. And I'm going to hit save. And you can see now that looking at John's account, he now has $250 because he got the first deposit. And then he's got the transfer from the parent, $150. If I go look at my account, Jane Smith, I'll have $0 because I transferred it to John Smith. That's kind of the really quick overview of the website. It's been working well for the last 2 years, but I'm always open to suggestions. So if you have an idea of even how to make this site even better, a feature you think would be really cool to incorporate, please don't hesitate to get in touch with me. If you find when you're creating or trying to log in as a student that you're not being able to log in, get in touch with me, because sometimes either the account hasn't been created, or yet again it'll be one of those things where it's not first initial last name. You can always try the first 2 letters of the name and your last or first 2 letters of the first name and then your full last name. Especially if you've got hyphens in your last name, it could be anything. So hopefully that helps, and we look forward to doing some fundraising.